What is up, good people? Crypto Prepper here. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd of 2026. And this morning, even though I follow blockchain backer, I didn't find out about this until this morning, though I did have a little bit busy day yesterday, that the CEO, Jack Mallers, from that 21 Bitcoin SPAC or treasury company, whatever you call them now, he stepped down and he had lost uh 90%, 88 or 90%. Oh yeah, 88%. So really I rounded up when I made this post earlier today after finding out about that I can't understand how I can lose 90% while the underlying asset only falls 51% because that's how far Bitcoin has fallen from its all-time high back from last October. So I set up a bot and real quick and I can't remember the exact settings, but what I wanted to do is try to recreate those settings and do a quick video on how you can not lose 90% or even 51% during a 51% fall, uh, and you can actually make 6%. Okay, so let's get to it. We're going to look at this chart and what I did. I tried to create a bot setting that is going to be not only successful in the bear market, but it's also going to do as good as it can during a bull market. So it is always going to be better. I'm going to be honest. These bots are not going to perform as well as buying and holding during the bull, right? Because if you buy it at 20,000 and then sell at 100,000, then you're making 500% gain. But these bots will not make 500%. But you're never going to buy the bottom and sell the top, right? So, um, setting these bots up and just letting them run and just letting them do their thing and paying you no matter what. It's going to pay you in the bull and in the bear. Okay, so let's get to it and start here on Coinbase with our pair being BTC and USDC. As always, we are going to start this bot out with 1,000. It can be scaled up to as much as you want, but I don't put all my coins in one basket or all my eggs in one basket, like Grandma always said. So, you can set up as many of these bots using this Bitscap software as you want, and as many of these DCA bots. You're limited in the other kind of bots, but what they allow to do is you can set up like 10 of these bots all on Bitcoin, USDC, on Coinbase, and set them all up with 1,000 and just move around some of the settings. Like the first thing I would adjust is the averaging order step. But let's get to it and look to see what we could have gotten in the last 365 days as Bitcoin has fallen down 52.5%. Okay, so we've got our base order amount of 3125 and 968.75 for our averaging orders amount. So those two numbers are going to equal that 1,000. And when you go up here and say you wanted to put another zero in there, these numbers automatically adjust as needed, or it automatically calculates for you. But other than that, the averaging orders quantity is going to be 5, which gives us 5 limit orders underneath here. And I apologize for all these little measurements. I just wanted to, like I said, during a bull market, a drop of 20% is not unheard of. So, I want the spread to be at least 20%, but in a bear market, we had this drop here of 37%. So, I thought maybe a 30% spread should do us pretty well. And this is how you get it. So the averaging order step percent is the distance between these orders, and placing that at 6 gives us a protection from 30% down. Not saying that it's going to go down 30% from here, but as it goes up, it's going to sell and then recalculate, or it's going to reset these orders and then it's going to protect you down to that 30% from the sell. Okay. So the amount multiplier here, the next step is an X2, which doubles the amount on each limit order here. And then the step multiplier is off. So what that does is it increases it by a percentage. So I don't have much luck playing around. I played around with that quite a bit, and I don't have a whole lot of luck with messing with that and find anything as consistent as what I'm doing here with just adjusting the this is the first thing I adjust is the averaging order step percent. Then the next thing that I would adjust when I'm doing these back tests is the price change percentage. So with alts, I'm more comfortable with leaving like setting this at 5, but with Bitcoin, I actually got a better return with a lower price change percentage because like I said, it's not as volatile. Maybe I said that in a video I tried to record earlier. Um, it's not as volatile as alts, so expecting a 5% jump isn't going to be as easy in Bitcoin as it is in XRP. So 3.5 is a good take profit price percent. You could be a little bit more conservative even and go 2.5, but I'll show you this back test how successful it was. And then our risk management, pump dump protection, I'm leaving that on now. So if you've seen some of my older videos, and I was taking that off for the longest time because I would do a back test and it would actually produce a better return than leaving it on. So in this case, actually, it's basically the same, 6.7. But what I've seen recently with toggling that back on or keeping it on really because it's defaulted on is I've actually seen a better return with some of the alts that I've done. So let's just run this back test here. You saw 6.7 and yeah, the 365-day back test with that pump dump protection on, excuse me, is still going to produce a 6.7% APY while the coin has fallen because this bot would have been started back here when it was 119, so almost at the top. And currently it's down 44%, but at its lowest it was 40 or 50, 50 and a half. So, okay. So obviously the first thing I look for on these back tests is the APY 6.7 is pretty damn good while it falls 50%. And it's way better than you're going to get in any bank. You even staking, like I don't think you can't stake Bitcoin, right? It's not a naturally uh, staked coin like Ethereum, but you might be able to earn rewards on it from some exchanges or whatever and whatnot. But it's probably not going to be 6.7 just for holding Bitcoin. But with this bot using Bitcoin, it could make 6.7. And then the other thing that I really like to see on these bots is the continuation on these back tests is the continuation. So what that means is basically not only has it fallen 50%, but you could close this bot out and gain your entire capital back because it just sold and then bought its first limit order. So basically it has in this case it's 9,600 some odd dollars to continue working. But usually when I set up a bot with just 1,000, that basically chops a zero off, so 960. Because right here is a $5,000 limit or $5,000 order, $2,500 order, 1,250, 625, and 313 limit orders. So, but what that tells me is I could close out this bot, sell the little Bitcoin that it has, and I would walk away with $10,670. Essentially, might be a couple dollars off of that. So the continuation is I like to see, and then the last thing I look for is I don't like to see a whole lot of space where there's not a lot of activity, but it can't always be avoided. Like here we had last time it bought here was November 21st. And then you went all of December. December was kind of a boring month anyway. And then waited until the middle of January before it took profit. It took a nice chunk of profit though, because one, two, three, four, five, six. So it was fully vested here. So when it took profit, it paid you $350 right there, which is almost half of what it made over the entire year. And you can confirm that by going down here and looking at what the orders would have been, the buy and sell orders, and finding January, looks like it was January 14th here. The dates are backwards because the Bitscap software is not in America. I can't remember where it is, but Bitscap doesn't have any control over. They can't actually uh, use the software to extract your money. You just allowed the APIs for your exchanges to buy and sell on your behalf, and they can't. You have to actually log into your individual exchange to extract the USDC or whatever coins you wanted to take out. So, but you can't do that through the software. So there's no third party risk as far as that goes. Um, so then here on the January 14th, it sold and paid you $348.55. So, it was worth the wait. You got paid. Um, but so that's what I look for in these back tests. And so I guess that's really the point of the video, is to show you how you can make 6.5% or more um, while the coin falls down 50%, rather than putting your money with people like Jack Mallers and having them lose 90% of the value and then skip down. So hopefully you liked the video and this helped you in your bot making journey. If you are interested in getting started with this software, you can start with as little as like $30 a month, and be able to set up 10 of these bots, and you can do everything that I've done except run a 365-day back test. So you can get a little bit of cheaper price by buying it annually. I think it works out to like 23. And then when Black Friday rolls around for the day after Thanksgiving, they usually have a 50% off the annual sales. And so you can upgrade your plan at that point. And that's what I did. Just recently, I was on the mid-tier plan up until last November, and then I upgraded to their pro plan, which allowed me the 365-day back test, which is coming in handy. So, yeah, and like I said, you can get started using this Bitscap platform by going to bitscap.com, or if you use my link in the description, it is a referral link. It will help you or help the channel at no extra cost to you, so it'd be much appreciated. But I wanted to thank you for watching, so give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave me your favorite coin in the comments, and I'll run a bot for you. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.